So see, there's no fur sticking out in the seams at all. And I like to take the scissors and just kind of taper it down to the edge. That helps keep the fur pieces together. And then I'll trim a little bit of that fur just out of that edge. I'll nip the tip of each stripe, and that helps when you get to the end so that you don't have this little point that you're trying to sew into. It just keeps everything a lot better sucked up tight at the end. I'll use a razor blade to cut the inside of the orange piece or the main piece, and then just take a pair of scissors to cut out just to the very edge. That way I don't accidentally slice the fur everywhere. Then I'll just sew it all the way to the end, and basically I'm getting as close as I can where at least I make sure I get a little bit of the tip of that orange in there, but I don't want to keep sewing over it because it'll create a huge knot on the end. So basically when you get to the tip, you just got to make sure that the black is right up against the edge and push it forward if it isn't all the way up to the edge. And you tuck the fur in real good. And this is when you got to be crafty with a pin. You just kind of have to stick it in there and pin it right to the edge. Then of course, as you go down, you just really have to take your time tucking the fur, and even if you got to put the pins only a ½ inch away from each other, that's really the way you got to do it. So see here, I'm just taking that fur and I'm pinching it as I go. So it's keeping the fur really tight in there. I mean, the fur is really thick itself, so it's kind of hard to keep it pinched, and your thumb and forefinger might be hurting after a while. But really, that's what you're looking for. Then as you sew it, you just start right on the edge. And then you just go on down. That'll make sure that it's really tight on the edge, and when you're done, just double check it and make sure it looks great. See, at the very end here, it's just a little bit into that orange where it's just enough to hold everything together, but it's not creating a huge knot. Then I'll trim the edge of the black stripe just to keep a nice clean edge on it, and it's nice and straight so when you fold it in half and sew up the seam. And that's how you do stripes. Basically just making sure the inside of the suit is just as pretty as the outside of the suit. Orange and black. Rawr.
We're taking over this town.